As you can see, there's still quite a bend in both of these. In fact, there's quite a bend in all the pieces. Now that I have one face jointed on the jointer and then one edge jointed 90 degrees to this face, I could put the jointed face against the fence, the jointed edge against the table, and then resaw this board in half. Look at the tension that has released in that workpiece. These two just sprung apart. And unfortunately, I'm not going to have enough thickness in this board to plane that back flat again. There is some hope that this will equalize over time because it's pretty humid in the garage right now. So this side of the board may have a little bit more moisture in it than the inside. As it dries, it may flatten out a little bit. So my work pieces have been stacked in the garage for a couple weeks now, and they have flattened out a little bit naturally. I think that's just the moisture content getting even on both sides after I resawed it. So I need to decide what to do about this. As you can see, this is some really nice looking quarter sawn white oak. I just don't have the heart to throw this on the scrap pile. So I've got to figure out a way to salvage these pieces and get them usable for my project. A little over a year ago, I made a video about flattening these warped clamping cauls. I'll leave a link to it in the description. And I made a crude steam bending chamber for that purpose. And actually it worked pretty well. And since I only need to straighten my work pieces for the bookshelf a small amount, I think I'm going to try steam bending again. To generate the steam, I'm going to be using this Wagner Power Steamer 705. This is a second-hand unit, but it's just like the steamers that you would buy at Rockler or anywhere else, except it's meant for wallpaper. So that means it doesn't come with the fitting to attach to the steam box, but I just cut out this fitting from this handheld steam plate and epoxied it to the side of the steam chamber. Next, I just need to drill the hole through here, through the epoxy, and into the chamber. Okay, the box is heating up. I've got my thermocouple installed here, and you can see we're at 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's been slowly climbing. The box is heating up. Got a drip bucket down here, and the door here is sealed a little bit with this paper towel. I did have this fitting pop off. The epoxy just completely let loose after it heated up for a while. So what I've tried as a temporary fix or a quick fix is to super glue it back in on top of the epoxy. That obviously has some shortcomings. We'll see if it works out in the long run. And then the hose is going over here to the steam pot, and it's boiling away. Climbing to 168 degrees. I think I'm going to go ahead and put my pieces in and start the timer. Okay, I've got everything clamped up. I did add several layers of tape and a mound here in the middle of the bench, and I'm hoping that will provide a little bit of a back bend to account for any spring back. And I went ahead and clamped all four together. Yes, I'm breaking the rules, but I'm only trying to bend these just a little bit. I'll check on this in the morning, and if it's successful, I can move on to the other four pieces over here. If it's not successful, then I'll have to try again. Okay, my first batch of work pieces have been in the clamps overnight. I'm going to remove the clamps and see if the steam bending was successful to straighten these out any. Uh-oh. What happened here? Guess I'll have to put some paste wax on that if I do that again. Okay, not bad. That one's pretty good. Got a little bit of a kink right here, but for the most part, the rest of the board's straight. I'll have to decide what to do about that. Okay, so two of the boards turned out straight enough to use. I still have some room, I can plane it down. But these two boards with this imperfection here, both kink right here. So the steam bending was not as successful towards the end. I'll have to remeasure these boards and see how long I need because I did leave them a little long. I may be able to remove some of that. But this worked well enough. I'm going to go ahead and do the second batch the same way. So here are my 8 slats. They've been stacked on stickers here in the garage for a couple of days. And luckily I haven't experienced any major spring back. They've remained relatively flat as they came out of the steam box. And even though they're not perfect, I still have a chance to improve them because I still need to joint them and bring them down the final thickness with the thickness planer. That'll help some. Even though it cost me some extra time, I'm really glad I did this because this quarter sawn oak was expensive. I did not want to put it on the scrap pile, and I had fun doing it, and I learned a couple things. By the way, these are side slats for a Stickley bookshelf I'm building for my daughter. I'll now be able to continue that project. If you're interested to see how that project turns out, please check back in a few weeks for some more updates. That does it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.